Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking a thrilling descent into the darkest, most terrifying, and honestly, most awe-inspiring corners of our planet's deep ocean. We aren't looking up at space today, we're heading deep down below the surface to a place shrouded in ultimate mystery. It's a realm of eternal darkness and immense pressure, a hidden world that covers most of our globe, yet we still struggle to explain what is truly going on down there.
So, you know that peaceful feeling you get looking out at the beautiful blue water on a beach? Well, we're going to go ahead and challenge that feeling right now, because the reality of what's lurking beneath that sunny surface is going to change how you look at the ocean forever. It's this vast, untamed wilderness hiding right in plain sight.
Get this, we have actually explored less than 10% of our own ocean. That leaves a staggering 90% as a total absolute mystery. To put that into perspective, we literally know more about the surface of Mars and the Moon than we do about our own ocean floor. It is a massive, unexplored frontier right here on Earth, teeming with unanswered questions.
All right, Section 1, into the midnight zone. As we start our descent, the sunlight fades incredibly fast. Around 200 meters down, you hit the twilight zone. It's dim, kind of like a cloudy evening just before night falls. But once you cross that 1,000-meter mark, you're in the midnight zone, pitch black darkness. Imagine being trapped in a giant room with no doors, absolutely zero light, and knowing that thousands of unseen, strange creatures are swimming all around you, watching you. That is the daily reality down there.
Now, you might be wondering, how does anything survive down there without sunlight for plants? Well, they rely on something called marine snow. Sounds beautiful, right? Almost poetic. But don't let the name fool you. Marine snow is actually falling garbage from the upper world. We're talking dead fish pieces, animal waste, just decaying matter slowly sinking into the abyss. There are no grocery stores down there. Every single crumb of this drifting garbage is a strict matter of life and death.
Moving on to Section 2, Monsters in the Dark.
Let's meet some of the real-life nightmares evolution has created in this absolute darkness, starting with the anglerfish. You probably recognize this one from the movies. The female has this literal fishing rod growing out of her head, right? It's tipped with a glowing bulb of bioluminescent bacteria. In the total inky blackness, a regular fish spots this pretty, glowing light, swims closer to investigate, and boom, the anglerfish opens this massive mouth full of see-through teeth and swallows it whole. It's a deadly trap built right into her biology. Survival here requires some extreme adaptations. I mean, evolution just went completely wild. Take the gulper eel. It can stretch its jaws so incredibly wide it swallows prey much bigger than itself. That's the equivalent of a human stretching their mouth wide enough to swallow a whole refrigerator in one bite. No joke. And then you've got the legendary giant squid, out there with eyes the size of beach balls just to catch the faintest light while it fights massive sperm whales in the freezing dark. Let's dive deeper. Section 3, the Mariana Trench Mystery. We are now plunging to the absolute bottom of our planet, 11,000 meters. That is the terrifying depth of the Mariana Trench. To give you a clear visual of how deep that canyon is, if you flipped Mount Everest upside down and dropped it into the trench, the peak wouldn't even touch the surface. It would still be buried under more than 2 kilometers of water. It truly feels like an entirely different planet. And at that astonishing depth, the pressure is 1,000 times greater than what you and I feel at sea level. That's the equivalent of having 50 jumbo jets stacked directly on top of your head. Without a highly advanced steel submarine, a human body would be instantly crushed like a fragile, empty soda can. But it's not just the sheer pressure that's terrifying. Back in 1997, a network of underwater microphones picked up this massive, ultra-low frequency sound they called the Bloop. The crazy part? The sound profile matched a living marine animal, but it was exponentially louder than a blue whale. Now, scientists later claimed it was likely just giant ice quakes, icebergs cracking in Antarctica, but a lot of mystery fans and deep-sea researchers still strongly believe there's a giant, unknown monster sleeping at the bottom of the ocean. Section 4, Sunken Cities and Treasures. Gliding along this high-pressure ocean floor, you start to realize the deep sea is actually the world's biggest and most dangerous museum. You've got the Titanic resting isolated at 3,800 meters. You have 2,000-year-old Roman ships perfectly preserved with jars of wine and gold coins still completely intact. We're talking entire ancient cities swallowed by massive earthquakes and literally billions of dollars in untouched lost wealth just sitting there in the endless dark. This quote here really hits the nail on the head. The ocean floor is the ultimate time capsule. Because these depths are so inaccessible to us, the freezing, crushing environment preserves human history in a way no surface museum ever could. The ocean holds on to its secrets very tightly, and it definitely doesn't give them up easily. For our final stop, Section 5, Alien Life on Earth. So, we've always been taught this fundamental rule of biology. All life requires sunlight. But in the late 1970s, scientists discovered something that completely broke that rule. They found hydrothermal vents, or black smokers. These are giant cracks in the Earth's crust aggressively boiling out mineral-rich water at over 400 degrees Celsius. That's over 750 degrees Fahrenheit. That is literally hot enough to melt lead, right there at the bottom of the ocean. You'd logically expect that anything near that blistering feat would be instantly cooked alive, right? Nope. Researchers found thriving, crowded ecosystems perfectly adapted to this boiling, pitch-black environment. They found bizarre stuff: 8-foot-long giant tube worms, swarms of ghostly white crabs, and shrimp with absolutely no eyes. Because, well, what good are eyes when there's no light anyway? These creatures survive through a process called chemosynthesis. Instead of using sunlight like plants do, deep-sea bacteria literally convert toxic chemicals coming straight out of the Earth's crust into energy. It is a completely self-sustaining ecosystem. Honestly, if the sun vanished completely tomorrow and the Earth's surface froze over, these creatures wouldn't even notice. They just keep thriving in the dark. And this was a massive game changer. Finding this alien-like survival mechanism right here on Earth completely revolutionized how we search for extraterrestrial life. If life can thrive in the toxic, boiling, crushing depths of our own ocean, it could easily exist right now in similar conditions under the thick ice of planets like Jupiter's moon Europa. As we wrap up this explainer, we really have to face facts. We have explored less than 10% of this massive underwater world. Every time a research team goes down there, they find species brand new to science. So remember how small we really are, and ask yourself, with over 90% of our oceans still completely unexplored, what massive, unimaginable creatures are waiting for us in the dark right now? Think about that tonight.